Hey everyone, we're back with our chili and cornbread meal for today, and I'm going to fix the cornbread as our chili finishes up. So I will be using the deluxe air fryer for this. It calls to bake in the oven, but I am cooking for myself and I tend to use my air fryer. I really wish they'd rename it because I've had it maybe 10 months and I think I've used the air fryer setting once. I use it primarily to bake and roast, and I've done some rotisserie in it. So definitely don't let the name fool you. It is an all-purpose, essentially countertop oven. So let's get started. This is called sour cream cornbread and it's by Trisha Yearwood. So let me show you some of our ingredients. You'll see in the picture. But what I'm gonna do, I've got our 2-quart batter bowl, one of my favorite products. I'm actually using a few of my very favorite Pampered Chef products today. Love the batter bowl. It's very sturdy. It's got a pour spout and then it's got a lid. So for example, I'm gonna make the full recipe, but I'm just gonna cook half of it right now. So I'll be able to put the lid on and stick it in the refrigerator, you know, and let the batter be in there another day or two and then cook that. So batter bowl, absolutely always makes my top 5. The mix and scraper, you can see it's not just flat, so you can scoop, you can spoon, but it's that same great silicone quality that when you scrape the bowl gets every bit of batter or mix out of your bowl. I always tell people the only thing not to like about the mix and scraper is it gets everything out, so there's no batter left to lick. So if you're making a cake or something. So anyway, 2 of my favorites. And then, like I said, we'll be using the deluxe air fryer, which is probably my #1 favorite tool. The recipe does call for specifically to use cast iron. So I will be using our little 1-quart enameled cast iron pan. Let me pull that up for you. I got it in the lovely blue color and it fits in the deluxe air fryer. So first of all, it's just adorable, but it does fit. It's the 1-quart size, fits in the deluxe air fryer. And so that's what it is, cast iron, but it's enameled. So no pre-seasoning required. I'm not gonna spray it. You wouldn't spray on the enameled anyway, but I'm not even gonna grease or butter it. We'll see how that goes for me, if it gets stuck or not. I've made other things in here that I didn't, and they came right out, so we'll see. So anyway, 1-quart enameled cast iron pan in the blue, the pretty blue, which is in the outlet, by the way. So once they're gone, they're gone. So we're gonna start with buttermilk cornmeal mix. So this is not just cornmeal, this is the mix. Because the mix already also has flour and baking soda or whatever. So, I mean, if you have cornmeal and you know how much other flour or baking soda that you would want to add to the cornmeal, you could certainly do that. But I'm just going with the mix. We're going to do 1 1/4 cup. And there are measure markings on the 2-quart batter bowl, so you could certainly use those directly if you like. Okay. Then we're gonna add 1 cup of sour cream. I'm gonna measure this in our measure all cup. I'm gonna actually measure 2 of our ingredients in the measure all cup. So with the sour cream, this is our measure all cup. You can see there's 2 sides. If you're gonna put a liquid, you put in there, which we'll use that in a minute. And then if you're gonna use a solid, you just press this down and the markings are right here for you. So this is the 1 cup measure all cup. So I just get slide it all the way down to 1 cup. I'm gonna use my mix and scraper. As I shared with the chili, I like to use 1 tool, so I'm gonna be using this mix and scraper to scoop ingredients, to stir the batter. So we'll do it all with that. Really, I could eyeball it and just put half of this container in there, so I've been known to eyeball before as well. Okay, there's some air pockets down in there. I probably scooped too much at once, but anyway. So you can see that's our 1 cup of sour cream. Let me move this because I want you to see. So all I'm going to do is, lay that there first, is push up from the bottom. And you can see it pushed our sour cream right out. And then I'm just going to scrape. Right there. So you can see we got all that sour cream. Still got some on the sides. Okay, the other thing, and I'm going to go ahead and do this so then I can put my measure all in the sink, is we need a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So now I'm going to use the liquid side. Oops, blue. I can see my 1/4 cup marking there. You got to kind of be careful with, oh, there we go. I was thinking, wow, that's some clear looking vegetable oil, but I hadn't really poured any in there. And then just pour it right in. I'm going to put that in the sink. Okay, and we just have our creamed corn and eggs remaining to go in there. Let me get the lid on the sour cream. But before I add, I'm going to go ahead and give a little stir. Certainly, if you wanted to use a hand mixer or something, you could do that, but I don't think it's necessary. You know, the mix and scraper is stirring it up just fine. And especially once we get the creamed corn and the egg in there, it'll give it a little more liquid. This is one of the older model Pampered Chef can openers. This is gonna have to be some good cornbread. Creamed corn, sour cream. Whew. That's gonna be some good stuff. I would even, you know what, I didn't do it, but I like to put jalapeno and maybe some red peppers or green peppers, kind of make it a Mexican style cornbread. And I think you could easily add those things in here. If you wanted to put some other spices in here, you absolutely could. In fact, I'm trying to think through what spices I have in my cabinet that might be good. Okay, like I said, 3 eggs. Woohoo, no shells in the eggs or in the batter. Okay, and that's it for our batter. So definitely liquidy and smooth. It didn't call for it. I am gonna add some salt and pepper. And I think since I'm having the chili, I won't do this, but I bet you could add some of that chili mix seasoning to this. Maybe you're gonna have it with something else, or you're okay. To me, that would be a little much, having that same seasoning in the cornbread is also in the chili, but may not be for you, so certainly feel free to do that. But your spices and your seasonings, you know, don't limit yourself. If you like one, add it to recipes you enjoy. Okay. I'm gonna grab the salt and pepper real quick, so hold on just a second. Pampered Chef does have Himalayan salt and also some pepper grounds. And you could get our salt and pepper shaker set, which is beautiful for your table, especially with the upcoming holidays. I really like pepper, and I usually don't add salt to my food. But as they say on the cooking shows, and the top chefs will tell you, salt is flavor. So I've been going from none to a little. And then I usually will add more pepper when a recipe does call for it. I'll add more pepper because I like pepper. So, okay. That is our mix. I'm now going to pour it straight from the batter bowl into our enameled cast iron pan. If I remember correctly from watching the Great British Bake Off, I watch that show a lot. I love that show. If you've not watched the Great British Bake Off, you're missing out. It's funny and entertaining as well as educational. So, and actually this one, I think I learned from, I probably learned at Great British Baking Show, but also from Nailed It. So if you haven't watched Nailed It, that one's a good kind of mindless, funny one to watch. So you watch Great British Baking Show and maybe you get a little intimidated by how good people are, that you could go over to Nailed It and realize you're not as bad as those folks. So, but you learn stuff. And I share all of that because one of the things I learned is when you're pouring batter in, you want to not fill your pan more than 2/3 full, probably not more than halfway full. So I'm going to plug in the air fryer. Okay, so the air fryer's on. I'm going to I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Okay. So the bake function, I would turn this, you see the first turn takes you to air fry, then to bake. These are pre-programmed settings, so I want to bake higher than 350, so I'm actually going to use our custom button. Lets me adjust the time. I want to adjust it up to 20 minutes. Our recipe cooking temperature is 450 degrees. Our air fryer goes to 400, so I'm going to bump the time up a little bit as well, and we'll check on it. Also, because I'm only cooking half of it, it may not need to cook as long, or maybe cook the same amount even at a slightly lower temperature. So I'll just keep an eye on it. But I press the button to hit enter, and then it takes me to temperature to let me adjust that. I'm going to crank it all the way up and hit enter, and it starts. So that's our cornbread cooking, and once it's done, I will plate it in the chili and take a picture so y'all can see the finished product. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you will try these recipes. To me, they're the best of the fall, right? It's not very cool here today in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is a little cloudy, so I'm gonna sit inside and enjoy my chili and cornbread and watch some football, which is some of my favorite fall activities to do, to watch football. I don't play. But anyway, so enjoy your day. Thank you for spending part of it with me, and wishing you well.